Let's talk a little bit about what happened at the New York Stock Exchange a little earlier. Watch this. So that was, of course, Henrik Fisker ringing the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange about an hour ago. The gloves apparently were electrified, which is why he was wearing them. This as the company's debut vehicle. The Ocean rolled off assembly lines. It did so in Gans, Austria last week. The EV maker targeting 40,000 units in year one, which sounds like a really big number. It's already got over 63,000 reservations, so the demand is definitely there. Joining us now in a Bloomberg exclusive, Henrik Fisker, Fisker chairman and CEO. Of course, the founder of the business as well, the eponymous founder, and Bloomberg's Ed Ludlow, joining us from San Francisco. Ed, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, Henrik, you and I have been talking about launch day, November 17th, for 2 years, more than 2 years, right? You remember the phone calls, the emails. Henrik, is this going to happen? It's happening. The cars are rolling off the production line. What are the problems, though? Where are the difficulties in securing parts? Is there a shortage of parts? Will you meet the 40,000 target? Tough questions to start, Henrik.
Well, you know, good to be on the show, Ed, and see you again. No, you know, I think we actually, in my opinion, are at maybe just a height point of the recession. I don't think we're going into a recession. I think we're in the middle of it and getting out of it. And I can really feel that when we talk to our suppliers. They're getting people back into their facilities. We have had a rough time getting all our suppliers lined up. But we managed it, I think, together with Magna. Magna, of course, is a powerhouse in the automotive industry. So, you know, we are taking a kind of cautious approach. We are only making 300 vehicles in Q1 next year, then jumping really fast up to 8,000. And the reason for the 300 is because we want to make sure all our suppliers come with us. But we actually are seeing that our supply chain are very good. It's been tough, but they're there and they're with us.
Henrik, small volume of vehicles then in Q1. Are these vehicles coming here to the United States, and how does the infrastructure look to service the early customers? How do they take delivery? What happens if the car has a servicing issue?
So we have, first of all, our own technicians, with mobile technicians, which we can send all over the U.S. We also have a deal with Bridgestone, which have, you know, more than 2,000 facilities all over the U.S. So we actually have more service facilities than even some of the largest automakers. So we are very well set up. We already have a couple of service centers, a special powertrain center in California. If there's any major issues, we can bring the vehicle there. But so far, the quality I've seen of these vehicles coming off the line in Magna is amazing. I've never seen anything like it. I've been over 30 years in this industry, and I feel really good about our product and the quality.
Rivian's another company I cover, Henrik, and they had to recall almost every single vehicle they delivered in their first year for a very minor issue. How would you handle a recall if that were to happen? Is it up to Fisker, is it up to Magna, or is it a joint decision?
No, I mean, a recall is up to the OEM. It's up to us. We are responsible for the vehicle. But one of the great things about Magna is they have already been in a training mode for the last 9 months. You know, we have already built over 100 vehicles at Magna, training. So when we talk about startup production, it's probably not like other EV makers, which starts production way ahead of when they are really ready. In our case, you know, Magna is charging us such a small amount for the actual manufacturing once we start production, which means they have to be super efficient. They have to make high quality cars, deliver them to us. They go through 2 quality checks. So I'm very confident that if there ever is an issue, yeah, we have to handle it among our partners like Bridgestone, as well as our own service centers. So I think we are very well equipped to handle anything should it happen.
Henrik, if I'm a US manufacturer, good morning, by the way, it's Guy. Nice to have you on the show. If I'm a US manufacturer and I build a car in the United States, my customers get an incentive to buy that car. You're building them in Graz, Austria. Is that a problem for you being competitive in the United States? How are you going to get around that?
Well, first of all, we took a window of 1 week in August where we offered all our customers to actually make a binding order to get their incentive, and we had thousands of customers doing that. So it actually meant we're sold out for next year of several of our versions of the Ocean. So I don't see that as the issue. In 2024, what we are planning to do is definitely have some sort of manufacturing in the US, and we are looking at several options, both with Magna and without Magna. We haven't made that decision yet. And finally, I do think that the IRA, which is this new Inflation Act, I actually think you're seeing Europe, Korea, and Japan are objecting to it because it came into effect in August, meaning we had 6 months, we meaning every car maker in the world had 6 months to build a factory and start manufacturing in the US by January 23, and that's impossible. Nobody can make a factory in 6 months, so my expectation is that the current government is going to be smart enough to actually delay that for a couple of years to give everybody a chance to manufacture cars in the US, so I expect there will be some change to that.
Okay, so you want to manufacture cars in the United States. Is that going to be with the asset-light model that you're pursuing in Austria, or is it going to be you building cars? What does the future model look like as you start to work in the United States?
Well, first of all, we already have a deal with Foxconn where we are going to build our lower-cost vehicle under $30,000, $250,000 a year in Ohio, in a plant there, together with Foxconn. The Ocean, we haven't decided whether we're going to do it together with Magna, for example, or we're going to do it. There's a couple of other options we are looking at right now, and I'm not quite ready to say what we have chosen, but I expect us in the next 3 to 4 months to make a deal.
Hey, Henrik, it's Alex in New York. It's good to see you. I have a broader macro question for you. The energy crisis continues to unfold in Europe. It's an issue here in the US as well. If an energy crisis continues, will everyone be able to plug in their cars? Will we have the actual ability and power to do that?
Yeah, you know, look, one of the advantages we have by being in Europe is we're shipping within the same day to anybody in Europe. We have a super good pricing in Europe specifically. I mean, one of the advantages we have is the dollar to euro, that all our deals were made when the dollar euro was 120. So essentially we have about a 20% discount on all our parts. So I think we have a big advantage both by paying all our cost in Europe, and then of course being in Europe where we see a huge growth happening in Europe, specifically Germany, UK, and Scandinavia.